misinterpreted.
Hi, I just wanted to let you know that we did manage to get into one of the talks this morning. Early warning for thresholds and tipping points in the Earth system. It was full, but we sneaked around the other side and we got in. And eventually, I actually got a question in to Tim Lenton, who's at the University of Exeter. So they were talking about tipping points, but they didn't mention anything about aerosols, geoengineering, weather modification, EMFs. They were talking about biodiversity of species in the Arctic. And so the question I asked, I went for the jugular. I mentioned everything, weather modification, GMO, well not GMOs, EMFs, and the aerosols. And they were really, again, speechless, as they all are when we ask our questions. They're a little dumbfounded. But then, luckily, another 2 questions on geoengineering and aerosols were then asked. And it was a very successful morning, I have to say. I think they're getting the message with what we're bringing to them.
Were you suggesting these programs are already running?
I did mention ongoing geoengineering projects and
that they were military.
And military,
She said that they were military. And she had a backup. We have a guy from Adelaide, Australia, that we're going to be meeting with here shortly this afternoon over at the University of Madame Curie, where Max is going to be presenting. So we're going to get with this other gentleman who is well aware of the program as well. And then, if I may say, yesterday during a session we had Sir
David
King, who is on the record being against the geoengineering programs, and I did pose a question to him. We'll be releasing that video soon, folks. He agreed with me 100%, talked about the SRM and carbon removal, and agreed that this is a very, very bad idea. So he is a high-level UK official. So we're getting very positive feedback from many, many people at this conference. And I will say that we're having success here inserting our issue into this global climate change agenda.
And I did manage to give Sir David King a copy of the directive to manage.
What is it? So what is the directive? Explain that. What is the directive?
Well, it's the people's demand to ban stratospheric aerosol geoengineering, and also the ongoing weather modification and aerosol dumps that are visible, that we show to be there.
Aerosol dumps, would that be like ship tracks?
Including ship tracks,
yeah,
but most importantly the aerosols from the aircraft that we're seeing.
Okay.
That obviously can be prevented because of the turbojet fans are designed to not make chemtrails. So all that information is in there, and he now has it, and he is a proponent of a temporary ban on geoengineering. So he was very on board with what we're doing, and
it's contrails that we see every single day.
Now this is a jet over Phoenix, Arizona. The rear horizontal stabilizer of the tail, especially retrofitted with the nozzles. These are the types of jets that we have in the airspace over Arizona, all unmarked and unidentifiable.
Okay, Terry, you've got something to show there.
Right, photo album here of just everyday sightings that I'm looking at in Wexford. We were just showing a couple of
scientists. Hold it up
scientists.
a little bit, we're getting a lot of reflection.
We just had a conversation about an hour ago, myself, Max and Michael, with 2 scientists, one from Australia, one from
and
Germany.
They were shocked, weren't
they were absolutely shocked by all of these photographs. They had never really actually observed such horrific sights. We showed them these
satellite image of Germany,
NASA satellite images of Ireland and UK here earlier this year, and also earlier this year over Germany, just absolutely, completely just plastered.
That is
with jet
just
trails.
contrails.
So anybody that says that solar radiation management isn't already taking place is either delusional or is a part of this actual criminal agenda. Now, Ken Caldera just legged it out of your last session, didn't he?
Yeah, I just got the back of his head for about 45 minutes during that talk, and I was hoping he was going to be there while I asked my question. But
so when Ken
he ran.
Yeah.
When Ken hears pertinent questions being asked, he usually tends to bolt it out of the room, or he
panics. He panics and runs like an animal.
He's a solar radiation management salesman, a geoengineering salesman. He will never admit that these programs are
already running
in operation. But you know, here we go. We got photographic evidence. So
that's incredible. That's a whole country of Germany there, covered in nothing but jet trails.
So we're going to try and get interviews with Ken Caldera. We'll probably be just kicking a dead horse, but you know, we're going to try anyhow. Alan Roebuck is here, another geoengineering proponent,
advocate,
who was at Berlin last year.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we actually just incidentally we spoke to a climate research scientist from Mexico about half an hour ago. Myself and Max and Michael were having a conversation. This guy is a top guy in his field. He was doing a presentation here a while ago. I won't name him, but he basically admitted to us that climate change is an agenda.
Yeah. He was very concerned. Yeah, he agreed with us.
And you went into extensive history of weather modification and the long desire for governments to control the weather, and he was very, very interested. You captured his attention for a good 15-20 minutes, Max.
Yeah.
It was really...
no, it was great. He didn't even realise that there's weather modification going on in Mexico.
Yeah.
And luckily you printed out the World
countries.
Meteorological Organization's list of nations with full-time weather modification, and Mexico's on that list. And when he saw that, he was like, wow, can I have a copy of that? And he was really stunned, wasn't he? He really, really was surprised.
Yep.
He had no idea.
Also, these other two scientists that we were talking to a couple hours ago, we showed them these spray pipes here on the Aer Lingus.
Supposedly for the release
Airbus
of
A320.
hydraulic oils that leak out where the wing flaps are and stuff like that, which in itself, the debunkers say, this is nothing but an oil drain mast. Well, oil deposited into hot exhaust would create smoke, which is how smoke generators work for aircraft, which is for cloud seeding.
And which is described in a US patent dating back to the 1970s.
Yeah, exactly. So regardless of whether they try to say this is harmless, it would be doing cloud seeding if it was actually doing what they say.
Yeah.
But we got a patent from 1951 that talks about spraying water with different salts in it for the processes of weather modification, and it even talks about stainless steel tube, exactly the same as what we see on this pylon from 1951.
And also, if there's hydraulic oil leaking from these hydraulic systems, that's a major problem on an aircraft, because
they should be tight,
these are
closed
under
systems.
massively high pressure systems under high pressure. So if there's a leak, there's a massive problem there with the wing flaps and all that. It's going to interfere with the landing.
Yeah.
I mean, these are multi-million-dollar aircrafts. Who believes that they've got oil leaks and all this kind of stuff, man? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they've got three different varieties on that one.
Do we
three
see,
different varieties
do we
of
see
oil.
oil splattered all over the side of the fuselage or anything like you would on a car leaking oil? You'd see it going in the body of it or whatever. Exactly. You don't see it on these planes. But anyhow, we really captured the imaginations and the attention of a lot of scientists here. We're getting some good conversations
Very
going.
positive feedback from a lot of them.
Yeah, you know, so many of them are kind of on the fence about everything, and a lot of them are aware of climate engineering. Some of them don't know what's going on at all, just like that guy from Mexico.
Yeah.
So that's what we're here to do, is just to inject this issue into this whole debate, because as we all know, anybody that's got their eyes open, we're being sprayed every day. Our climate has been engineered for decades, and the globalists have created this problem so that they can present solutions in a typical Hegelian dialectic scenario, problem-reaction
create
solution.
the problems, get the reaction, and then offer the solutions which they had already planned.
Exactly. So so that's what we're here to do at Expose, and we'll just keep on making more videos and updates throughout the next 3 days.
Yep, it's going well. Okay, we'll leave it there. It's quite long, but it's going really well. So goodbye, Michael.
I'm very proud of all of the activists here, and I think it's been very effective in terms of a trip and in terms of the agenda to insert geoengineering into the discussion, not only in the panel meetings, but also here.
This is a great way to reach people. Yeah.
We've had an opportunity to talk to many people one-on-one. So I was a bit skeptical, before I came, about how effective we would be, almost a little doubtful. Now I see the value in it and the validity in it, and I do believe that we have the ability to create the mindset and the change that we need to progress, with people gaining an understanding of our changing climate, and geoengineering being the largest climate force in that. So that kind of destroys this whole multi-trillion-dollar global government Agenda 21 objectives and agendas. So I'm very excited and very proud to be working with the other activists here. It's been very much of a growing opportunity. So thank you.
All right, and thank you to all our donators who have supported us and sent us so many wishes of goodwill. And
I'd like to also thank my donators for very generously donating my money, which is required to come over here. So thank you very much, everybody.
Okay,
really appreciate it.
Take care. Bye for now.